1968 was a year of shifting tides. Love was tender, protests filled city streets, and soul music was the heartbeat underneath it all. Clarence Carter was smoothing heartache into honey, and Marvin and Tammy were about to give us a love song for the ages. These are the R&B gems from '68 that still move like warm summer wind. Number 15, Slip Away, by Clarence Carter.
What would I give for just a few months?
There's something undeniably southern about this one. Humid air, slow fans turning on porches, and secrets whispered quietly after midnight. Clarence Carter released Slip Away in 1968 on Atlantic Records, right as Southern soul was rising from places like Muscle Shoals and Macon.
Slip away, slip away, slip away.
Carter wasn't new to the game, but this track became his breakthrough, thanks to a rich, pleading vocal performance that hits like a confession. The story of this record has a spark of luck to it. The song was initially tucked away as a B-side, almost forgotten. But DJs in the South flipped the record and found pure gold.
Please believe me, darling, I don't mean to hurt you.
Soon, slow dancing couples everywhere were swaying chest to chest, letting that organ line tell the truth they couldn't say out loud. This wasn't radio-polished Motown. This was raw, lived-in emotion. Slip Away went to number 6 on the R&B charts and crossed into the pop top 10, proving that vulnerability had a place on every station dial.
Oh, can you slip away, baby?
Its legacy lives in the way modern soul singers bend notes when their hearts are too full. And if Heartbreak Soul sets the tone here, well, the next track brings a little fire to the table. Number 14, I Got the Feelin' by James Brown.
I got the feeling.
If Clarence Carter gave us the slow confession, James Brown came in with the electricity. Released in early 1968 on King Records, I Got the Feelin' showed James Brown in full command of his revolution.
Heavy, down in misery.
The one where rhythm takes the wheel and everything else hangs on for dear life. Brown was performing relentlessly at this time, hitting city after city, shaping not just soul, but the blueprint for funk itself. There's a story that during the show, teenage Michael Jackson watched James Brown perform this very song, and it changed him forever. Michael later said he studied Brown's footwork, timing, and vocal breaks like scripture.
Baby, 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 baby.
You can hear that influence echoed throughout the Jackson 5's earliest performances. The horns stab and shuffle like they're having a full conversation, while the drums lock into a heartbeat that refuses to sit still. This wasn't just a dance track. It was a statement of control, swagger, and motion. The song hit number 1 on the R&B charts and number sold to 6 on the Hot 100, but its real legacy was being a cornerstone in the evolution of funk and stage performance. And if James Brown brought the spark, the next song smooths it out into pure honeyed devotion. Number 13, I'm in Love by Wilson Pickett.
I'm in love. Yes, I am.
This is Wilson Pickett in his velvet phase. Less the fiery midnight hour shout, more the man standing under a street lamp, heart wide open. Released in 1968 on Atlantic, I'm in Love came at a moment when Pickett was exploring softer tones, guided by the songwriting genius of Bobby Womack, who penned the track.
I'm as happy as a sweet little rain can be.
At the time, Womack was emerging from controversy and reinvention, and Pickett gave his words the sincerity they deserved. Recorded at the famed Muscle Shoals sound studio, you can almost feel the wood-paneled walls vibrating with warmth and soul. The house musicians laid this track down with tenderness, gentle guitar embroidery, a heartbeat bass, and Pickett's voice trembling between strength and vulnerability.
Oh, baby.
this wasn't about begging. It was about admitting out loud the power someone holds over you. Though it didn't chart as high as his explosive hits, I'm in Love became a quiet essential. A song whispered between lovers, slow dancing in living rooms, radios glowing low in the evening.
It's all right, boys, do it again.
You can practically smell the cologne, the vinyl cushions, the hush of two people not needing words anymore. If this one is intimacy in its purest form. The next track takes us straight to Detroit for some polished Motown glow. Number 12, You're All I Need to Get By Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, 1968.
You're all I need to get by.
Gave us many beautiful songs, but few touched the spirit the way this duet did. Released on Motown's Tamla label, You're All I Need to Get By captured the unmistakable chemistry of Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell.
Like an eagle protects his nest, for you I'll do my best.
Two young artists whose voices fit together like fate itself. But behind the sweetness lies a tender, heartbreaking truth. Tammy Terrell was already struggling with serious health issues during this period, having collapsed on stage in Marvin's arms just a year earlier. Despite her pain and the uncertainty around her condition,
Make a man out of the soul and then have a go.
'Cause we
when she stepped into the studio, her voice bloomed, warm, believing, full of trust. Marvin responded to her phrasing like conversation, like devotion in real time. Written and produced by Nicholas Ashford and Valerie Simpson, the song felt almost like a prayer. Simple, direct, full of quiet power.
you're all I need.
It climbed the R&B charts and became a wedding, slow dance, and lifetime memory staple. And as gentle as this moment is, the next song brings us into full, shimmering harmony from one of the most iconic girl groups of the era. Number 11, Love Child by The Supremes. By 1968, The Supremes were already American royalty. Glamorous, poised, the sound of polished Motown confidence. But Love Child, released that year on Motown's Diana Ross and the Supremes label, took a bold step into deeper waters. This wasn't the playful sparkle of Baby Love or Come See About Me. This was a social story, a song of struggle and survival. The Supremes were responding to a changing world. Poverty, identity, and generational shame were being discussed in living rooms and headlines alike. This track told the story of a girl born outside of marriage, determined not to repeat the same cycle. It was honest, emotional, and risky subject matter for the most glamorous group in America. Yet, Diana's voice carried it with strength, urgency, and dignity. Behind the scenes, the Funk Brothers delivered one of their most precise and driving instrumentals. Tense strings, pulsing bass, and a beat that walked like footsteps through memory. The song became a #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100, proving that soul audiences were ready to face real stories in their music. Its legacy endures as one of Motown's first major steps toward blending social commentary with pop perfection. If this one brought a voice to struggle, the next track shows how joy and groove could still shine in the same year of change. Number 10, Tighten Up by Archie Bell and the Drells Now.
We Archie Bell and the Drells, Houston, Texas. We don't want to sing.
Here's where 1968 loosened its shoulders and stepped onto the dance floor. Tighten Up, released on Atlantic Records, came straight out of Houston, Texas, showing the world that soul grooves weren't just born in Detroit or Memphis.
tighten up. Now this is the music that we tighten up with. First,
Archie Bell himself once joked on stage, "We're from Texas, and Texas has got soul." And this track proved it beyond any doubt. What made Tighten Up special wasn't just the groove, it was the format. It played like a live call and response party happening right there in the studio.
let's tighten it up now, so you can do it now. So baby, get
Archie speaks directly to us, introducing the band piece by piece, inviting everyone listening to move however the rhythm pulled them. It was part record, part dance instruction manual, part neighborhood celebration. Here's the twist. Archie Bell recorded this track before being drafted into the Army. By the time the song started exploding on the charts, he was stationed overseas. Imagine hearing your own voice getting America dancing while you're wearing a uniform thousands of miles away.
tighten up. Oh yeah, tighten up now.
When he returned home, he came back to a hit that spent 2 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and 5 weeks on the R&B chart. Its legacy is everywhere, from roller rinks to backyard cookouts to any DJ who knows how to start a party right. And speaking of grooves, the next song takes us back to Memphis for something low-slung and oh so silky. Number 9, Take Time to Know Her by Percy Sledge.
Her pretty smile never did show it. All I know.
Here's a soul lesson wrapped in velvet. Released in 1968 on Atlantic Records, Take Time to Know Her found Percy Sledge at a crossroads after the massive success of When a Man Loves a Woman. Instead of trying to repeat that towering emotional moment, Sledge leaned into something gentler.
Said song, take time to know her.
A quiet story song with hard-earned wisdom at its core. The track unfolds like advice handed down from an elder on a front porch at dusk. The organ hums low, the guitar strolls, the horns sigh in just the right places. And Percy's voice? It's tender, thoughtful, almost trembling with regret and clarity. He sings of falling too fast, of ignoring the signs, of learning too late that not everyone loves with the same open heart.
I just couldn't wait to have a little girl of mine.
It's not dramatic heartbreak, it's reflective ache. Here's the twist behind the recording. Percy Sledge insisted on minimal takes, preferring natural emotion over studio polish, and you can hear it. Every syllable lands like he's remembering something real, something that still stings. The song became a top 15 hit on both the pop and R&B charts, but its true legacy is in how it lived in kitchens, car radios, and wedding receptions, passed down as gentle guidance. It's the soul version of a friend placing a hand on your shoulder.
Please don't rush into the.
If this one slows us down and gets us thinking, the next track lifts us right back into sweet, shimmering vocal harmony. Number 8, I Wish It Would Rain by The Temptations.
Sunshine, blue skies, please go away.
By 1968, The Temptations were masters of polished vocal harmony, but this one came from a place of deep personal heartbreak. Released on Motown's Gordy label, I Wish It Would Rain tells the story of a man devastated by the end of a relationship.
Hurt so badly, I wanna go outside.
Longing for rain so no one could see him cry. The emotional weight behind this song was tragically real. Lyricist Roger Penzabene wrote the words after discovering his wife had been unfaithful. He poured his grief directly into the song, every line trembling with the pain of holding dignity while breaking inside. Shortly after its release, Penzabene took his own life, and the track remains one of the most emotionally charged recordings in the Motown catalog.
Pressed against the window pane, my eyes search the skies.
David Ruffin delivers the lead with a raw, pleading edge, his voice stretching, cracking, reaching for something that can't be fixed. Behind him, the Funk Brothers lay down a restrained yet dramatic arrangement. Strings curling like dark clouds, drums pacing like a heartbeat trying to stay steady. The song climbed to the top 5 on the R&B chart and top 10 on the pop chart, becoming one of the Temptations' most beloved deep feel ballads. It remains a song for anyone who's ever stepped outside, looked up at the sky, and hoped for a little cover. If this one was rain on the window pane, the next track brings us right into a blaze of sunrise joys. Number 7. It's a Shame by the Spinners, Before. The Spinners became icons of the 1970s Philadelphia soul sound. They were grinding it out at Motown. Talented, versatile, but still waiting for their moment in the spotlight. It's a Shame, released in 1968 on the VIP imprint of Motown, was one of their earliest true breakouts. And here's the twist. This track was co-written and produced by none other than Stevie Wonder, who at the time was evolving from teenage prodigy to full musical architect. The song itself is heartbreak wrapped in sunshine. A bright, dancing groove hiding the ache of loving someone who doesn't love you the same way. The drums bounce. The guitar flickers like afternoon light on water, and the harmonies are smooth enough to melt right into you. But listen closely, and you hear a man trying to convince his heart to let go. This was the beginning of the Spinners finding their voice. Polished, emotional, layered. Though they wouldn't fully bloom until they left Motown for Atlantic a few years later. It's a Shame was the spark. The moment people started to recognize that this group had something golden brewing. If this one was Bittersweet Joy, the next track slides us into Slow Burn Intimacy, a record that feels like a whisper in the dark. Number 6. Stay in My Corner by the Dells now.
I cry.
This is slow dance soul in its purest form. Released in 1968 on Cadet Records, Stay in My Corner wasn't the Dells' first hit. In fact, they originally recorded it years earlier. But this re-recorded version, stretched into a sweeping 5-minute emotional journey, is where the magic truly bloomed. By 68, the Dells were seasoned, road-tested vocal craftsmen, and their chemistry was airtight. Marvin Jr.'s lead vocal comes in like a warm, pleading thundercloud, strong yet trembling with vulnerability. Then Johnny Carter's soaring falsetto floats above him, turning the song into a conversation between devotion and longing.
I love you, say, whoa.
The arrangement swells like a wave gathering strength, delicate at first, then rising into something overwhelming and almost cinematic. Here's the legend behind the recording. The Dells were known for their perfect live recreations of studio arrangements. Their harmonies were so precise that Motown's Berry Gordy reportedly wanted to model training programs after their technique. And you can hear why. No one steps on each other, yet everyone shines. This wasn't just a song, it was a moment. Slow dances in basement parties, prom nights, wedding receptions, and late-night radio dedications. A song to hold someone close enough to feel their heartbeat. If this one held us tight, the next track, it's a pure spark of power, joy, and uplift. If these forgotten gems from 1968 are starting to stir up memories, or maybe even spark a few new ones, go ahead and give this video a like. It helps more soul lovers find their way here, and it keeps this music alive. And stay with me, We're about to step into the top 5, and trust me, these next songs glow. Number 5, Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no...
We return to the undeniable chemistry of Marvin and Tammy because 1968 was one of their most luminous years. Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing, released on the Tamla label, is a reminder that soul music can be joyful and tender all at once.
Don't worry, baby.
Just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry.
Written again by the incredible team of Ashford and Simpson, the track is warm, hopeful, and bursting with emotional clarity. What makes this one so special is the intimacy. Marvin and Tammy don't just sing together, they lean into each other. You can hear smiles in the phrasing, playfulness in the timing, devotion in the breath between lines. Even knowing what Tammy was enduring medically during this period, her voice remains a beam of sunlight. Marvin responds in kind, not overpowering, not dominating, just matching, like two souls learning the same heartbeat. The arrangement is classic Motown. Bright tambourines, strolling bass lines, and strings that rise like curtains being pulled open to let the morning in. It became a top 10 pop and R&B hit. But more importantly, it became a symbol of partnership in soul music. A reminder that sometimes the simplest message is the truest one. Nothing compares to authentic love. If this one filled the room with warmth, the next track, it's going to move your body. Number 4, Dance to the Music by Sly and the Family Stone.
Dance to the music. Dance to the music.
By 1968, soul music was expanding, breaking boundaries, rewriting rules, and Sly and the Family Stone were right at the heart of that revolution. Dance to the Music, released on Epic Records, was their explosion into the mainstream. This was not Motown polish or Stax grit. This was something brand new. Psychedelic soul, buzzing with joy, rhythm, and bright Technicolor energy. Sly didn't just bring new sound. He brought a new vision. A band made up of men and women, black and white musicians, all equal, all sharing the stage. That alone was groundbreaking in 1968. But then, they played like the future was already here. The song itself was a deliberate introduction to the band's style. The arrangement is almost self-aware. Instruments call each other out. Vocalists pass the mic. The groove builds layer by layer like a DJ stacking records. Larry Graham's slap bass, one of the first ever put on record, hits like a heartbeat you can't ignore. This track didn't just top charts, it opened doors. It laid the groundwork for funk, inspired rock bands, shaped the sonic identity of the 70s, and still lives in every festival field, every block party, every joyful soul gathering. If this one brought the celebration, the next track slows the lights down and leans close. Number 3, Since You've Been Gone, Sweet Sweet Baby by Aretha Franklin, 1968.
Baby, baby, sweet baby.
Belonged to Aretha. The world was changing, the nation was grieving, and the Queen of Soul was giving people strength, dignity, and fire through her voice. Since You've Been Gone, released on Atlantic Records, is one of her fiercest, most joyful statements. A song that turns heartbreak into victory. Aretha had already claimed her throne with respect, but this track showed how effortlessly she could blend gospel, blues, and pure emotional truth. At this point, Aretha was working closely with producer Jerry Wexler and recording with the Muscle Shoals session players.
The
same Southern soul blend that made her sound so alive and rooted. The horns pop like champagne, the piano struts with confidence, and Aretha's voice, it soars, reaching notes that feel like sunlight cracking open storm clouds. But here's the magic. This isn't a sad song about missing someone. It's a joyful release. Aretha sings like a woman who has remembered her worth and is stepping into her own power. When she belts those final notes, it feels like the whole world stands taller. The song reached the top 10 on both the R&B and pop charts, but its true legacy is in the way it feels. Like freedom, like self-love, like reclaiming your voice. If this one was standing strong in the spotlight, the next track takes us into a story of devotion that moves slow and deep. Number 2, For Once in My Life by Stevie Wonder.
For once unafraid, I can go where life leads me.
There's Joy, and then there's Stevie Wonder Joy. Released in 1968 on Motown's Tamla label, For Once in My Life is Stevie stepping into his young adulthood with confidence, clarity, and radiant emotional conviction. The song had existed for years as a slower ballad sung by others. But Stevie transformed it completely. He heard possibility where others heard sadness. In the studio, Stevie insisted on speeding up the tempo and lifting the spirit of the song, turning it into a declaration of gratitude and love. Motown executives initially fought him on this version. They thought it was too energetic, too bold. But Stevie held firm, even recording it secretly with the Funk Brothers to prove the arrangement worked. When Motown finally released his take, it felt like sunshine bursting through the radio. Listen to the rhythm section. It walks like someone with purpose. The horns sparkle like confetti, and Stevie's harmonica dances above it all, full of life. His voice carries a smile, the kind you hear, not see, as he celebrates finding a love that feels steady, mutual, safe. Not fireworks, but home. The song shot to number 2 on both the pop and R&B charts, missing the top slot only because Marvin and Tammy were holding it that week. The most soulful traffic jam of all time. This track lives forever in celebrations. Weddings, graduations, family reunions. Any moment where a heart realizes it's no longer alone. But as beautiful as this is, nothing, and I mean nothing, prepares us for number 1. It's a song born from pain, resilience, and quiet strength. A song that helped shape the emotional core of soul music in 1968. A song still whispered, still honored, still held close. Number 1, Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding.
In the morning sun, I'll be sitting in the evening.
Sometimes a song stops the world just for a moment and lets us breathe. Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay, released in early 1968 on Stax Records, was that moment.
The ships roll in, and then I watch them roll away.
Otis Redding recorded it only weeks before his tragic passing, and when it was released posthumously, it felt like the entire world paused to listen to his spirit speaking one last time. This wasn't the fiery Otis we heard at the Monterey Pop Festival or in his Stax Barn Burners.
My home in Georgia, headed for the...
This was reflective Otis, weary, thoughtful, longing for peace. The gentle acoustic guitar, the soft brushes on the drums, the quiet whistle outro. It all feels like watching the tide roll away while thinking about everything you've lived through and everything still unfinished.
And this loneliness won't leave me alone. Listen to...
And here here's the remarkable truth. No one at Stax quite knew what to make of this song at first. It didn't sound like anything Otis had done before. But when it reached listeners, it became the first posthumous #1 hit in Billboard history. It's a meditation, a goodbye, a prayer, and a gift, all in one.
At the dock of a bay, watching the tide roll.
Its legacy is eternal. From Muscle Shoals whispers to Motown Morning Sun, from dance floor joy to quiet heartbreak by the water. 1968 didn't just give us music, it gave us memories that still breathe. Thank you for strolling back through time with me. Your presence keeps this history alive. If you felt even one moment of warmth, recognition, or remembering, go ahead and subscribe to keep the soul alive right here with us. And don't leave just yet. Up next, we're stepping into 15 most tragic stories of 1970's forgotten R&B stars. A year of elevation, rhythm, and revolution. Click on the end screen and let's keep this groove going.